Hello, everybody, and happy Friday. Hopefully everyone got the notice that, at least 9 of you have, that we would be doing the show tonight rather than last night. So here we are, and we're going to listen to the second and third interviews that were done with Terri Morris by Gregory and also Tim Muzny, his lieutenant, sex crime lieutenant. So we're going to do that tonight, and it's really just a lot of listening, honestly, and it's stuff that hopefully that a lot of you have already listened to in his podcast. I cut a lot out, believe it or not, but it's still going to be pretty long. But I just want you to pay close attention to everything that's being said by Gregory and Terri Morris, particularly in this second interview. And then in the third interview, I expect that we will probably be having lots of stuff to chat about, because it's a pretty big bunch of bull crap, to be honest. And so we'll point out some of the parts to it that we feel like are things that we want to make sure you hear. So there may be some pausing during that, especially during that third interview, so that we can briefly discuss different things. So thank you, everybody, for being here tonight, and thank you, everybody on the panel that's here. We have Jack and Kay and Susan. So thank you guys for being here. Jack, how's your week been?
Oh, busy. Of course, a lot of my busy, I get myself involved in things that I probably should just stay the hell away from. You know, commenting on social media and, battling with state advocates in the Avery case and that kind of stuff. So it's my own fault in many ways. Not in every circumstance, and then on top of that, getting these Jody calls converted is a process. So plus, other things, plus other things that I'm doing as well. So just staying active, staying busy.
Just nothing's gonna hold you down, huh?
Well, unless somebody come and punches me with a big round of the flu or something, and
don't say that.
No. I'm just thinking back, September, when I got sick as hell. I didn't really feel terrible, but I sounded weird.
Yeah, I remember. You had that gruff voice. Okay.
Well, Doc said it was Barry White, but I never got it. But
well, glad that you got it all together tonight. That's great. Yep. I'm glad you feel fine and you've got lots of stuff to keep you busy.
Absolutely.
Hey, huh? I'm sorry. What was that?
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay. How about you? How's your week been?
Oh, it's been really busy. Just working on Daniel's case a lot, and that's about it.
And that's a lot of work, for sure.
The other fun farm things that I do.
You're surviving. How's your weather? You're surviving it, I guess.
Oh man, it's ass freezing cold here. My fingers almost froze off this morning. I was out in it too long.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's scary. Be careful.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And Susan, how about you?
Yeah, it's cold here again too. I'm freezing.
Oh,
I
yeah,
may have a little noise in my background tonight because I'm in a different room because the
okay.
room I'm normally in is freezing cold. So,
Oh no. Oh, gosh. Well, hopefully everybody can, all this stuff that we're going to listen to tonight really gets me irritated and gets my blood boiling. Maybe it'll help warm us all up a little bit. Hello to everybody in chat. I'm just going to say I'm being kind of a baby. I've had 2 dental procedures done in the last 3 weeks. And so my mouth hurts and I'm kind of bitchy and cranky. So I'm probably going to let Kay and the rest of the panel kind of take the wheel and do most of the talking. But I do have a couple of things that I do want to try to say a little later on as we're listening. So with all, see, this is how goofy I am. I haven't even uploaded my video yet. Oh, Lordy. I've been kind of goofy and, pain pills will do that to you. So let me get it loaded. Jeez. We have this fabulous thing where we can preload stuff on StreamYard. And what is Rhonda doing? She's flying high and feeling a little less pain. Sorry, guys. So chat amongst yourselves for a minute while I find it. Kay, do you have any news from Daniel?
No, I really don't. He's really super bored right now. I talked to him a couple of days ago.
That's too bad.
Yeah, nothing new. Although he was, he has been getting quite a bit more correspondence, which he was happy about, but they've been locked down a lot because they're short-staffed. So it's just not a lot of movement, not a lot of stuff to do. It's just hanging out with the same group of people all the time.
Yeah, that can wear you down. So letters, you guys, lots of letters to Daniel.
Playing a lot of cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for that. We're going to go ahead and start this video and just Kay, Jack, Susan, if you want to pause somewhere, just holler at me, okay?
Will do.
you got it.
With Morris's signing of the refusal to prosecute form, Detective Gregory was forced to put the investigation on hold. Fast forward now to June 18th and the Liggins traffic stop and subsequent interrogation of Holtzclaw. You'll recall during the interrogation, Detective Gregory asked if he had any recollection of stopping someone named Terri Morris during the city rescue mission in downtown Oklahoma City and then giving them a ride. Daniel said he did not recall that name, but was certain he's never patrolled that area and never given someone a ride to or from the city rescue mission. After the interrogation, Detective Gregory decided he needed to contact Terri Morris again. And once again, CI Cal was able to locate Morris and contact the police who detained Morris for Detective Gregory. Not to be too cynical, but what Detective Gregory claims happens next is like straight out of a script of a low-budget cop movie. According to Detective Gregory, the moment Morris sees him walking up to her, she exclaims, quote, "He did it again, didn't he?" Cue the dramatic music and insert the eye rolls. I don't mean to be sarcastic here, and it may seem out of place, but trust me, I'll be getting into a plethora of provable lies by Detective Gregory in the coming episodes. Needless to say, and conveniently enough, that comment was not recorded. According to Detective Gregory, Morris was willing to cooperate in looking at a photo lineup and discussing details of the case, but that she didn't want to be taken back to police headquarters. Detective Gregory had Detective Daniel Higginbottom show Morris the photo lineup and note her response. The following is an edited version of the audio from that photo lineup conducted with Terri Morris.
This is Detective Gregory. I'm here with Terri Morris at Northeast 21st and Kelly. It's June 24th, 14, and it's 6:32 p.m. Met with Terri. She said that she would do a photo lineup. Terri, this is Detective Higginbottom, okay?
Yeah.
And he's going to speak with you, and I'm going to step on out of here, okay? Okay.
Don't leave me, please.
Okay. I'm just going to step right over there, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Terri, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Alright. Can you hear me just fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright, Terri, in a moment you will be shown a series of photographs in random order. This series may or may not contain a photograph of the individual who committed the crime being investigated. You do not have to identify anyone. The person showing you the photographs does not know the photographic identity of the suspect. While looking at the photographs, keep in mind hairstyles, facial hair, clothing, etc. are subject to change. Also, photographs do not always accurately depict a person's complexion. It may be darker or lighter than it appears in the photograph. Also, disregard any differences in the shape, size, type, quality, or color in the photographs or the paper on which they are printed.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
It's okay. You should study only the person depicted in each photograph. Please do not speak to anyone other than the administrator. While viewing the photographs, you must make your own decision and not be influenced by any other person.
Yes, sir.
As you look at each photograph, if you see someone you recognize, please tell the administrator how you know the person. If you see a person you believe committed the crime, state in your own words how sure you are of the identification. Okay, please do not indicate in any way or other witnesses you have or have not made an identification. Okay, I've read or been advised of the above instructions and I fully understand them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let you sign right there. And today's date is the June 24th, 6:24.
Is that right?
Okay, and it is approximately 6:37. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's him.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, well let me,
Well, wait.
I've got several photographs to
no.
show you. So,
I'm not really sure.
here's the first one.
Kind of look like. No, it's not him. No, I don't know. It could be him.
Okay.
See, that confused me, man. No, it's not him. No, not him. No.
No.
It's not him
Okay.
too.
Well, let's go through it again.
I wanted to say that. I'm not really sure. It may not be
Okay, we'll start
him.
with this one.
I don't think it's him.
No? Okay.
I don't know, man.
Yes or no?
No. Could be.
Could be, don't know.
No.
No?
No. No.
No? Okay. Could be, don't know?
I just don't know.
Don't know? Okay.
It's like out of two.
Do what?
It's out of two pictures.
I can't hear you.
I said it's kind of out of two pictures that it could be.
Out of two pictures? Which two are those?
This one and that one.
These two?
Yeah. But can I see? I don't remember though.
Okay.
Let me see.
Well, if you don't remember, you don't remember. Okay? Not putting any pressure on you at all. You want to make a decision on one?
No, because I'm
No?
not positive.
Not positive? Okay. Just one of those two.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? What do you... Tell me again.
I'm gonna say it's that one, but I'm not real sure.
Okay. That's your
It could
final
be
answer?
It could be that one or that one.
Okay. That's your final answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, real dark hair. That's daytime.
Okay, we'll go ahead and conclude the interview at this time, okay?
While you're able to get a feel for how a photo lineup is conducted, since there was no video in that clip, you don't really get any sense as to which specific photos Morris is reacting to. According to Detective Gregory's report, Morris initially tentatively identified 2 officers as potential suspects in her sexual assault: Officer Jeff Dutton and Officer Daniel Holtzclaw. But as you heard, she changed her mind several times and continuously stated she was uncertain and confused. It's also important to know who was not in the lineup. Terri Morris. Detective Gregory intentionally left out Officer Jeff Sellers from the mix. I find this interesting. As previously reported, Gregory knows that Officer Sellers had had contact with Morris recently. More importantly, Officer Sellers has a relevant and disturbing past. In January of 2006, the Oklahoman newspaper reported that Officer Sellers had been fired from the department as the result of an internal affairs investigation that determined he had had sex with at least one prostitute while in uniform and on duty. That prostitute reportedly made a monetary claim against the city for alleged damages. Binding arbitration later forced the Oklahoma City Police Department to rehire Jeff Sellers. Detective Gregory was asked if he found it concerning that Officer Sellers had had recent contact with Morris and that he was also known to have sex with prostitutes while on duty. Detective Gregory claimed he didn't really know anything about that incident, even though it was widely reported on the news and was a topic of much conversation within the police department. As disturbing as the fact Officer Sellers was left out of the photo lineup is, exactly how Detective Gregory creates his photo lineups is even more concerning. I am quoting from page 3312 of the jury trial transcript. Question: whenever you assemble a lineup, what are you trying to do? Detective Gregory's answer, quote, basically what we do is we get 6 pictures together and then we have who we think maybe is the possible suspect somewhere in the middle of them. And we're just trying to see if the victim can identify who we think it is. End quote. This detective just admitted they allow their bias to dictate the direction of their investigation all the way down to what photos are selected to show potential victims. After the photo lineup is complete, Detective Gregory sits down with Morris for the second time to try to interview her. The following is some edited audio from that interview.
Here again, just kind of, I know you said you didn't want to talk about this, but I'd like for you to just answer a couple questions for me. Okay? Can you just run down through the story one more time?
It's like I done told the story like 1,000 times.
Okay. But I'm trying to catch it here, okay? So I don't have to keep bothering you.
Well, I was trying to find my way back to the rescue because I don't really know my way downtown very well. And I was standing to the rescue mission, not to come to the east side that day.
Okay.
And the police car pulled up on me. Yeah, stopped. Asked me my name, all that familiar stuff. Took my purse, searched it. Then put me in the car while he run the check. I didn't have no warrants or nothing. Then, well, I had a pipe though. And he said, I could take you to jail for this, you know. And I was like, oh man. Cause I relapsed cause my boyfriend cheated on me.
And you what?
My boyfriend cheated on me. We was kind of breaking up.
All right, you found the pipe, then what?
Yeah. And so he just kept kind of messing with it, playing with it in the front. Then he got out. Kind of was sitting there, like I'm sitting. He opened the door and he asked me, he said, told me to unzip my pants. He said unzip, he said, you got any panties on? He told me to raise my shirt up. Then he told me to give him
Did you raise your shirt up?
Yeah.
Did he ask you to raise it so he could see your breasts?
He didn't say that, he just said raise your shirt up.
Okay.
And he wanted me to unzip my pants, and I was like, what? So I know it wasn't right. Then he asked me for some oral sex.
How did he ask that?
Oh, I can't. He said he'll give me some head, and I won't take you to jail or something, he was saying.
Okay.
I said, take me to jail for a fight. I said, throw them things away and break them.
Then what?
Then I just kind of got quiet, and I cried, and I asked him, please don't do that, make me do it. And he said, yeah, just do it for a couple of minutes. Then he would leave me alone, he said. So I did.
Did he take it out through a zipper?
Yeah, I don't know, it was already, I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even see
How
it.
long did he have it?
Probably about a couple of minutes.
A couple minutes?
Then he wanted me to do it again. I was like, then he said, you know, you can't tell anybody about this stuff or something. And I said, I just want to get back to the mission. I just want to go back to the sea rescue mission. I'm just trying to find my way. And he says, if you want to ride, I said, no, I can walk it. And I got out, I was going to make a step, and he said, no, I don't want nothing bad to happen to you, so get back in the car. So get back in the car. And I was like, I can walk, I'll find it. And then he pulled somewhere where he started going another route. And I seen it once, and I was like, hey, that's the place right there. He said, yeah, he was going to go around or something.
The place meaning the rescue mission?
Yeah. He said he was going to go around because he was a hug. I said, this ain't the right way. And he said, and then he kind of pulled somewhere not that far. It wasn't far.
Did you stay at the mission that night?
No, I left. I was traumatized. Still am. It freaked me out.
Now you said it was a car like this one, the older police car?
Yeah.
Okay. Describe him one more time. You know this is important.
I know my
How tall?
eyes.
How tall do you think he is?
About 6'1", maybe 6'2", 6 feet, anywhere.
Okay. What color hair?
Dark brown, black.
Okay. And was he clean shaven?
Yeah.
What do you think he'd weigh?
Oh, I'm not good with weight like
Okay.
that.
I'm 6 foot and I weigh 220.
Okay, I'd say maybe 260, 270, I don't know.
Okay. All right. And he was what race?
Heck, I think he was white. Maybe he had some Indian in him or Irish or something. Cause his skin complexion was like, you know, like a dark color.
He was darker? Okay.
Like, he's white, but it's like, I don't know.
Did you see his eyes?
I can't remember.
Can't remember. Okay.
I wanted to say it was blue, but I cannot remember.
You see any scars, marks, or tattoos?
No.
Okay. And was he thin or
No, he was like solid muscular, like,
solid muscular?
yeah, tall.
Okay. And had he ever stopped you before?
I really don't know. So many police just stopped me.
Do you think he ran you that day?
Huh?
You think he checked you for warrant?
Who?
This officer?
When?
The day that it happened? Do you think he...
Well, I don't know, he was up there doing something on the thing, but I didn't hear nobody
What thing? Like the computer like that?
Yeah, but I never heard nobody get back with him. Oh, I think, no, he did, because they said it was clear.
Did you hear a radio?
I think so. I'm getting confused
It's
now.
Okay. I don't want to confuse
I need
you.
my medicine now.
Do you remember him calling out your name? Like to a dispatch?
Yeah, he said no, I don't know. It was a mosquito. I don't think he said my name. I'm not really sure anymore.
Do you think the computer was on?
Oh, I don't know. I was just scared to death.
You don't know.
I think it was.
So you think you gave him head for 2 minutes?
I don't know. 2 or 3. I don't know.
Did he have his hands on you while you were doing this?
No.
No?
I don't know. I can't remember. It's all. Everything's starting to jump a lot up. Asking some more questions I can't remember. My memory's not that great. I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Is there anything that you can think of that I didn't ask?
Yeah, the uniform like that.
Like mine?
Looked like not nail strand of hair didn't look like it was out of place.
Do what?
It didn't look like none of his hair was out of place.
Did he have a part in his hair?
Yeah.
you're showing your left side, is that right?
Well, I don't know which side being apart.
How old do you think
Maybe it's
How old do you think he was?
maybe, I don't know, 30s, 40s. I don't know, 50s.
And what time of day do you think this happened?
Oh, man. Maybe, I don't know, about 6, 7, 8. It was dark.
Was it in the morning? Or was it like in the afternoon?
No, it was dark. It was evening. It was dark. It wasn't late. But it was the beginning, you know, it started getting dark. It just got dark. Hadn't been dark that long.
But you're not for sure on the time? Now, before you thought it was at the end of May 20th, 21st. Is that still,
Yeah.
that still sounds right? Like just a
Yeah.
couple days before you talk with the officers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you interested in going forward with this? You sure?
Yeah.
You know I want you to, because I told you about...
Yeah, yes, sir, I know. I don't want to be involved no more. That's all I can do. I just want to put it behind me. I want to
You just what?
I want to put it behind me, get out of my system.
Hang on one second. I need to ask, but you don't know a Janie?
Janie. Oh, no, a Janie.
Do you know a Janie Liggins?
No.
Black female, about 57 years old?
No, I don't know her.
Okay. Now you're still saying a couple blocks from the mission.
Yes.
I know I keep covering it, but you know that there's a reason. Do you know which direction?
No, because I didn't even know my way around downtown, period.
Did he ever touch your breast?
No, he just told me to raise my shit.
How far did you raise it?
I raised it all the way up like he told me.
So did your boobs come out?
Yeah.
What do you do when you...
Nothing. My please go.
Okay, I'm not going to keep you. But you understand why I'm asking all these questions.
I'm asking no more questions. That's a lot.
You got my phone number, right?
Oh, no, I need it again.
Okay. Hey, don't be running on off. Hang on. I know you're rip-roaring ready, grabbing your purse and ready to run. Got a FI card. Now you remember my name, Detective Gregory.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Even if you lose this, know I work at Sex Crimes, Oklahoma City. And all you got to do is just call downtown if you think of anything that would be helpful. Okay?
We've now heard this very detailed version from Terri Morris numerous times. First, to each of the 2 officers that responded to the Valero gas station 911 call. Then, to Lieutenant Holland after she arrived on scene. We next heard it each of the 2 times that Detective Rocky Gregory interviewed Morris. While some of the small details changed, inside the car, outside the car, breasts exposed, not exposed, touched, not touched, the main points remained constant. The rape occurred just a few days prior to Christopher Shelton's 911 call. Morris specifically stated either the 20th or 21st of May. Shelton was the first person Morris confided in. The sexual assault occurred in downtown Oklahoma City, and Morris was walking from a drug rehabilitation center to the city rescue mission. The officer was driving an older model black and white 2010 Crown Vic. And lastly, the officer who raped her exposed his penis with little to no effort, and he was not wearing a condom. All of these things Terri Morris was sure of and repeated over and over again. Next, throw in the fact that the very first time we hear about this rape is during what is often referred to as an unsolicited, excited utterance in the background of Christopher Shelton's 911 call. At this point, I feel compelled to replay a quote from Oklahoma City Police sex crimes detective Kim Davis. It's a quote I first played for you back in episode 4, and I told you then it would be a reoccurring theme just so I could point out the bias and ridiculousness of it.
We'll take our time and we'll verify everything the girls say, or we'll verify everything he said. And that's the way the chips are going to fall. And everything the girls said verified, and nothing he said did.
Okay, I just needed to pause here after that quote from Kim Davis. She says that they're going to verify everything the girls say and everything he says. And everything the girls said, verified, checked out, and nothing that he said did. Well, there's a problem with that, in my opinion, and that is that the law enforcement only talked to Daniel one time. That was during his interrogation. And so when she says that everything the girl said checked out or verified, and nothing that he did, nothing that he said did, it just doesn't make sense, because they didn't do any checking. They didn't do any conversations with Daniel, after each accuser would make an accusation. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's a pretty big deal for her to, make that statement when it wasn't a thing. It just wasn't they didn't talk to Daniel multiple times. They spoke to him once.
And they didn't show reports from any of the, if there were reports, and maybe for some of the stops when he was just talking to him, maybe there wasn't one, but
right.
Which, is kind of what you're saying. They didn't try to verify what he said on anything else.
Yeah. The only thing they had that Daniel said was what he said in his interrogation in relation to the stop, the after hours traffic stop with Janie Liggins. That's it. So they were verifying what the girls said against what they, meaning the detectives, wanted them to say, my opinion. Okay. All right. Any other comments? Okay. We'll go ahead and keep on moving. Whoops.
The reality is, nothing about Morris's story is checking out. At all. When Daniel Holtzclaw was questioned about encountering Morris downtown and offering her a ride to the city rescue mission, he emphatically denied it. And the evidence, all of it, supports Holtzclaw's denials. When Detective Gregory went to verify Morris's allegations, I remind you, allegations made by a woman who admitted she was high on crack and diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic and not taking her prescribed meds, he immediately ran into problems trying to pin the accusations on Holtzclaw. Holtzclaw's patrol car GPS clearly showed he never stopped anywhere near the downtown city rescue mission at any time, let alone the dates insisted upon by Morris. Additionally, Holtzclaw drives the much more rare, newer model all-black patrol car. And lastly, while Morris's description of her attacker does contain similarities to Holtzclaw, 6 foot tall, muscular and clean-shaven, that description could also apply to many other officers. More importantly, Morris's description also contains many discrepancies. She said her attacker appeared to be much older than Holtzclaw, as old as being in his 40s and possibly 50s and having, quote, dark skin. Detective Gregory tried to overcome the description problems by presenting Morris with a photo lineup that he admitted in trial targeted Holtzclaw for identification and intentionally left out an officer who not only had recent contact with Morris, but is also known to have sex with prostitutes while on duty. That plan backfired when Morris was unable to positively ID Holtzclaw as her attacker. As you now know, detectives never utilized a photo lineup again in this case for fear the accusers could not positively identify Holtzclaw. Then there's the fact that Morris is unsure she's ever met the officer who attacked her in the past. Yet Detective Gregory knows that according to police records, Holtzclaw has encountered Morris at least 3 times, and the most recent was on May 8th at the Liberty Station Apartments. Not the 20th or the 21st, and it was on the other side of the city. Holtzclaw has even arrested Morris for property destruction back in September of 2013. With all of these details that don't check out, Despite what Detective Kim Davis would claim otherwise, Detective Gregory has targeted Officer Daniel Holtzclaw as his suspect, and he is relentless in that pursuit. I pointed out last episode that Detective Gregory made what I think is a convenient and ridiculous claim. He claimed that the moment he saw Morris, when he went to interview her a second time, that she exclaimed, quote, "He did it again, didn't he?" To which Detective Gregory noted in his report that he allegedly replied, quote, "He did." Those quotes weren't captured in his recordings of their interview, but that's not the most important detail that wasn't recorded. While I was going over every word in Detective Gregory's report, I noticed a notation in reference to his second interview of Morris. The interview I played for you last episode. The interview that is transcribed by Oklahoma City Police in their own reports. Detective Gregory noted, quote, "I asked Terri if the suspect had stopped her before up at Liberty Station Apartments. She acted like she didn't, but she was aggravated with questions and wanted to go." End quote. That quote, or any other mention of Liberty Station Apartments, appears nowhere in Detective Gregory's recorded interview with Morris. That's extremely important. That means that Detective Gregory is intentionally either omitting portions of recorded interviews or is so negligent and incompetent that he picks and chooses what he is going to record and when. Then there's the use of his wording in his reports. Morris, quote, "acted like her attacker didn't confront her at Liberty Station Apartments." How would Detective Gregory know if Morris is, quote unquote, acting as opposed to what she really would have done, which is to simply have answered his question with a no? Detective Gregory often uses wordplay to his benefit and to the target of his investigation's detriment. You'll recall that Morris repeatedly says her attacker has, quote, dark skin. Yet, in this most recent report, Detective Gregory uses the term, quote, olive skin. Nowhere does Morris use that term in any interview, but Gregory knows that he has much to overcome if he wants to implicate Holtzclaw, including descriptions by both Liggins and now Morris that don't match Daniel in critical areas. You'll recall that Liggins claimed her attacker was shorter than 6 foot, older than Daniel Holtzclaw, blonde, and had acne-scarred skin. But it actually doesn't surprise me that Detective Gregory's reports are so unfairly biased against Holtzclaw. I've posted this most recent police report on last episode's homepage at holtzclawtrial.com. Look down at the bottom of that report. It clearly states the report wasn't even written until July 24th, 2014. That's over a month after Gregory had actually interviewed Morris a second time, and in that time, Gregory has interviewed Morris a third time and set his sights on additional alleged victims and has actually already gotten confirmation from the Oklahoma County DA's office that they have agreed to prosecute Holtzclaw based on Liggins and Morris's complaints. But there are hints in Detective Gregory's report that he's had an entire conversation with Morris that he either didn't bother to record or intentionally excluded from the discovery evidence. A conversation whose sole intent, I'd argue, was to begin to reshape Morris's claims to more directly implicate Holtzclaw. According to the transcript of Morris's second interview, Detective Gregory asked Morris, quote, "Okay, describe him one more time." Morris, Detective Gregory, you know this is important. Later in the interview, Detective Gregory asked this, quote, "And, now you're still saying a couple of blocks from the mission?" Morris, yes. Gregory, I know I keep covering it, but you know there's a reason, end quote. I personally feel that Morris was simply too high from crack and too disoriented from not taking her meds to catch Detective Gregory's hints that she's needing to change her story to a description that more closely resembled Holtzclaw in a location that matched GPS records. Now, before you go thinking I've jumped down some conspiracy rabbit hole, you need to absorb what happens next. I mentioned just a minute ago a third interview between Detective Gregory and Morris. You're getting ready to hear that interview, and it's going to take this investigation into overdrive. According to Detective Gregory, in the days following the June 24th second interview of Morris, he and Detective Davis had been advised by OCPD lab analyst Elaine Taylor that female DNA, not belonging to Liggins, had been located on the fly of Holtzclaw's uniform pants. On July 1st, Detective Davis and another female detective went to Holtzclaw's girlfriend's place of employment and obtained a buccal swab DNA sample from the inside of her mouth. That sample was tested and did not match the DNA on Holtzclaw's uniform. On July 10th, Detective Gregory noted that Morris was now in custody of the Oklahoma County Jail after she was recently arrested on an unrelated charge. Detective Gregory, along with Lieutenant Muzny, drove to the Oklahoma County Jail to interview Morris and obtain a DNA sample from her. Once again, Detective Gregory claims that information very positive to his investigation was stated by Morris, yet he somehow managed to not capture those statements in his investigative recordings. According to Gregory's report, quote, "As soon as I seen Terri, she advised me she was happy to see me. Terri advised, 'There is something I've wanted to tell you!' Exclamation point. Detective Gregory goes on to note that Terri was taken immediately to an interview room and that once they all arrived, quote, Terri immediately told me that she gave me the wrong location to where her assault happened, end quote. In reality, the recording of this third interview contains none of that. The recording clearly shows that Morris, Gregory, and Muzny had gone over Morris's story at least once before Detective Gregory even bothered to record Morris's statements. Statements that now almost magically place the sexual assault on the other side of town at a completely different date and directly implicate Holtzclaw. You'll recall that Detective Gregory admitted in his report of his second interview that he suggested the Liberty Station Apartments location to Morris. Yet, that conversation, how it came about, and under what context Detective Gregory suggested that new location for the assault doesn't appear in any transcript or audio recordings. This is an important detail that came up during the trial, and once again, Detective Gregory is caught in a lie. At trial, Daniel Holtzclaw's defense attorney, Scott Adams, asked Detective Gregory about this third interview with Morris. Mr. Adams inquires as to why the recorded interview appears to begin at the end of Morris talking about the sexual assault. In fact, Morris is heard finishing talking about the alleged rape when Detective Gregory is clearly heard telling Morris to go over the story yet again. Detective Gregory claims that the entire conversation was not recorded simply because he was caught off guard and wasn't intending on interviewing Morris at the jail and just thought he was there to swab her mouth for DNA. But as you'll hear in the recorded interview, that's a lie. Detective Gregory had not only brought a recorder with him, but he says this to Morris during the interview. Quote, "Well, I just found out that you were over here and I knew you wanted to talk to us." End quote. Here is the complete redacted recording of Detective Davis's third interview with Morris in the Oklahoma County Jail. Probably the first thing that you will notice is that Morris now sounds completely different and much more lucid.
Kay, I'm not sure what you mean. Estimate how far away.
When you're listening to Rocky across the room setting up the interview, clearly he's across the room and Terri Morris and Muzny are on the other side of the room. And she's going over her story again. And he's over here setting up this recording like he should in the beginning of an interview.
Right.
Like he's going to just try to slide it in there. But then Terri Morris doesn't go along and just kick into her story. She makes him have to encourage her to say it. And he's so stupid that he says, well, just tell me again.
Yeah.
Meaning, letting us know they've already gone over it once. So I'm just noting the distance in the room. You can hear it.
Yeah, you'll be able to hear it for sure. Yeah, and so listen very closely. You're going to have to try to listen past Rocky Gregory's voice, because he's on a mission. He's going to try to, like Kay said, get Terri to retell this story. And as you listen to it, I think you will hear, and I'm sorry I didn't get the subtitles in for this part. Really sorry. But you can go to episode 6, the homepage of holtzclawtrial.com, and you can follow along there, or when you listen to it again, you can follow along. And the transcript is in holtzclawtrial.com, episode 6. So at any rate, though, he's, like Kay said, he's just trying to really slyly make it seem like he just got there and he just started this. But it's very clear to me, to a lot of us, that they did already have a long conversation with Terri, because now you're going to hear Terri change her story, from the date. Mostly the date and the location is what she's going to change. And yes, she does sound more lucid because she's sober. She's been sitting in jail for almost a week. Something about that I believe that they had her arrested. They set her up to be arrested. They arrested her on a trespass and a trespass charge and a crack pipe is why they arrested her. There's no report of that anywhere that we have or that we've been able to find. And so, but Rocky, he does get himself caught in a lie, during that part of the interview. And he gets I just want to warn you too, you can tell in his voice, first of all, he doesn't give a rip about anything she's talking about drug treatment or mental health or medications or breaking up with her boyfriend. He doesn't give a rip about any of that. And he kind of blows her off whenever she talks about anything except for what he needs her to be saying. And you can hear it in his voice. And then there's actually almost, not threats, but almost, I don't know if I'd call them threats or just what, but you can hear him kind of telling her, well, if you say you want to go to treatment, but you've been to treatment before, and you got to just talk to me. Tell me what happened. And it almost feels like he's bribing her, maybe, or maybe threatening her. I'm not really quite sure. So just pay really close attention. And like I said, go to the homepage at holtzclawtrial.com. Go to the wrap-up, Terri Morris wrap-up. Click on that homepage, and you can follow along the transcript of this interview there. Okay, here we go.
2014, he gave me my crack pipe back.
This is Detective Gregory with Lieutenant Muzny. We're here with Terri Morris here at the county jail. She had been placed under arrest. She advised that she did want to talk to us a little bit more. Is that correct, Terri?
That's it. That's all I wanted to.
Terri,
I was thinking about that last night.
Okay. You said you had some more information.
That's all.
Tell me again so I can take some notes.
That the location I gave you was wrong.
Why did you give us a wrong location?
Because I didn't want my boyfriend to be wondering why I was over there by Liberty.
Why was you over there by Liberty?
Because I was getting high. Well, I had been done getting high, but I was leaving on my way home though. When I got out the gate, as soon as I stepped out of the gate, he called me by my nickname, like he already knew me or something. He says,
Who said this?
The police, he said TT. He called me TT. That's what people on the streets call me.
Right, I know.
And he said, is there anything in your purse, sharp or something, he said. you know what y'all say, is it sharp, something I could cut myself on? And I said, no. I said, I have a crack pipe. That, you know, I'm trying to be honest, because I thought he was an honest cop.
Right.
And so he told me to get in a car, and then he pulled. Liberty is like on 26. If you come down to one street, it's on 26.
Right.
And then he went up Lindsay to 24th, because Liberty is on 26 in Lindsay. He went up to 24th in Lindsay, and there's some more apartments right down the street from the workforce office and back of the workforce office. Not the new apartments. They got a big gate around them. I forget the name of them.
They're at Liberty.
No, 2 blocks past Liberty, you know, there's a bunch of apartments. Like, this is Liberty, then it's another apartment, then it's some more apartments, and then it's some more apartments with a gate around, an iron black gate.
Okay. What did he do? Okay, so he stops you there at Liberty.
Yeah, and pulls me around there, and he don't pull it directly in front of the apartments, but he pulls like right before you get in front of them. Like, but you in front of the apartments, but you're not directly in front of them. Where he pulls where nobody can see us. Nobody can see who he has in the car. They can probably see his car, but they can't see who he have in the car. See what he's doing. What? And I was sitting there in the back. He said he was running a check on me. But I said, well, I don't got no warrants or nothing. And I guess I don't know if he ran the check or for real ran the check or not, but then he just kept twirling my pipe around, looking at it, when he was playing with it, like twiddling it around, looking at it. Then he said, he got out the car, opened the door. I was sitting just like this in the back seat. He opened the door and he said, unzip your pants.
And now the way you had your position, you were just sitting there like in a normal way.
Yeah, in a normal sitting position.
Keep going.
And he like this the door. He was standing up, and I'm sitting there. And I thought he was gonna, let me get out, but he says, open your pants. I said, open my pants. He said, unzip your pants. I said, unzip my pants. And then he told me to raise up my shirt. He asked me, did I have panties on and everything. And then he said, he asked me to give him some oral sex. He didn't say that though. I want to say he said a blowjob. And I was like, what? He was like, oh, come on, just for 2 minutes. And I was like, I really felt like I had no choice. And then I was like, I don't want to do this. And he said, oh, come on. But I've been trying to figure out how he knew my name all along. Like somebody told him. Like, that's TT.
Okay, I want to back you up just a little bit, okay? Before you told me about he was headed down to the mission, so that's not true.
No,
and you didn't leave a rehab center.
Yeah, I was at the rehab. I did relapse from the rehab.
Where was you walking from?
When I seen him, out of Liberty.
Out of Liberty.
But he had just pulled out of Liberty too, messing with people. He had seen me standing on the porch. He had never even messed with me. It's like as soon as I left out of Liberty, he left out of Liberty.
On what day? What?
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay, now
Mr. Williams, I don't remember all that now.
Well, you've always said the 20th or 21st.
It's got probably around, but yeah, probably then I probably remember. I don't remember now, you know what I mean?
Okay, so you don't know, but it was, do you know if it was a few days before you told your boyfriend and the police about the rape?
Yeah, it was some days before then.
You don't know how many days?
I wanted to say it was about probably about 8 days.
But you had been getting high during that time.
Well, I relapsed even worse when he did that.
Okay. Now tell me, what time of day was this?
It was evening. It was dark outside. It wasn't late though. It was like early evening, but it was just getting dark.
Okay.
Now,
I want to say it's about 8 or 9.
okay. Now,
I don't really know.
tell me this.
I'm getting all confused
You-
again.
No, hey, you're doing fine. You're doing fine, okay?
Because I can't think of all that stuff no more.
Have time to drink pot.
I can't remember all that stuff. It's like jumbling up in my head anymore.
No, I didn't know if you like Dr. Pepper or Coke. I thought that was okay. You like Coke?
Dr. Pepper is my favorite, but I like all pop.
Oh, well, that'll work. That'll work.
Remember, Coke's the real thing.
Pepsi is.
So you want to get up part of a rehab center, huh?
Yeah, I want to get back into treatment.
Well, you said this is about the clearest of mind I've seen you. I mean, you seemed a lot better since you've been.
But they got me in here on trespassing because my friend Matthew lied on me and told me, because he been owing me some money for 2 months. My friend Matthew been owing me some money for going to get this girl Crystal in Liberty because she moved apartments, and I don't know what they got going, but he said he had a job for her.
Okay. Well, and that's
But
okay.
so he told me if I wanted to get my little money, I had to go with him to the
Okay.
VA to get his traveler's
It's okay.
pay.
Look, you said you just wanted part of your rehab, okay?
Yeah, I just
Let me
want to
see
get
if
back in
Let me
rehab.
see if rehab,
Notice
you
how
know,
Rocky
I'm sure that
shut
there's
that
going to be
down?
something, maybe, if you're willing to volunteer for it.
I want to.
He does not want to talk about her going into the VA because that's where she got arrested for trespassing, which nothing exists on that. She never got charged for that. I don't know how long they kept her in jail for it. Obviously, at least a week. Long enough to sober up so they could come and get her to become a part of the case. But as soon as she mentions, I mean, he's already trying to get her to quit talking about the whole arrest thing because she's real confused about that. And she's right. She probably didn't deserve to be arrested that night, but they were desperate to get her to become a part of the case, or there was not going to be a case. You know, we've already got the results back on Janie Ligon's oral wash and swabs around the outside of her mouth. There's nothing to tie Daniel to her. Nothing with her story is being corroborated. I caught it from you, Rhonda, by the evidence. You know, they're just, as you know, I just heard a podcast recently. Hey Susan, do you want to talk about what Bill City, the police chief, said in this podcast? This is
Oh my
5
God.
years back.
Oh my God. He's talking about the racial unrest in the city and all around the Holtzclaw case. Yeah, it's very damning, actually. I was just blown away by it.
Because you know, the detectives and even the brass, they denied being fearful of riots and stuff, but in this podcast that we listened to, he lays it out that yeah, they absolutely didn't want riots and, you know, the racial tensions that had been going on.
They were fearful of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts to hear that insight. And this is 5 years after Daniel's conviction.
But Kim told Michelle Mulligan that they don't have racial problems in Oklahoma. So
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's right. She did say that.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Kay. And here we go.
Better rehab. I want to finish my treatment. I want to start over and get back in my treatment.
Well, let me cover this, okay, and then let's talk about the rehab a little bit more, okay?
Okay.
When you came out of Liberty, Did you come out of that,
The gate?
the gate?
The regular gate? The
Regular
opening gate?
The opening gates.
Where you supposed to come out and go in?
Right, where did he stop you from that gate?
Like soon as you come out the gate? Like soon as I got out the gate.
Right out the gate.
Before I got to the next block.
Okay.
The gate part is on 27. He stopped me before I got to 26. Because both of them is part of Liberty. One is 27th and Phillips, I think. And then one is 26th and Lindsay.
Are you on the Lindsay side?
I'm trying to think what. Okay, you know where the Murphy office is? That's Kelly. Then go down. Then it's Laird. Then Laird was it Lindsay after Laird? I think. Yeah, I was on the, well, I was in between both. I wasn't,
Satellite.
I hadn't made it to 26 to the corner. Like,
I know of one gate myself.
yeah, I walk out the gate and I turn. As soon as I
You turn
turn,
right or left?
I don't know, I turn this way,
Left.
whatever.
Okay, left. Okay. And he stopped you.
So, yeah,
Did he take you anywhere from there?
yeah, he put me in a car and pulls around to 24 and stops.
And that's where he does everything he did to you.
Yeah.
24th and what?
24th and Lindsay. Then he says, you know, it's some kind of place across the street from them apartments, like some kind of
Museum?
yeah, museum.
So 26th and Lindsay, and he drives you to 24th and Lindsay.
Right.
Is it a parking lot or what is it?
No.
26 down to 24th.
It's right across the street.
Full satellite.
Like Google
Yeah,
Earth or
like she
something?
could visually see.
There's a museum right across the street from the apartments.
Okay. Where's he pull you into?
Right there on the street.
Oh, on the street. Okay. Does he
stopped.
search you before he puts you in the car? So everything is, he picks you up, he takes you over.
The only thing he searched was my purse.
Okay.
And when I told him I had a crack pipe, he took that out.
So when he gets you over there, that's when he comes to the back?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he have you get out of the car? Now before you said he got you out of the car.
He got out the car.
He got out of the car.
I was sitting down and he came to the back seat, the back door, opens the door. And I was like, I told you I don't have no warrants or nothing, so can I go on? He said, open your pants. I said, what? He said, open your pants. He said, you got some panties on? And so I'm like, looking at him like horrified.
Did you unzip your pants?
Yeah, what was I supposed to do? He the police.
Did you pull them on down?
No.
Okay. Did he move?
He just moved like the little flap to look.
Did you have
Part of
on?
my little zipper part. He just,
Did you have on underwear?
did I? No.
Okay. Could he see your vagina?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he said, raise your shirt up. He said, I didn't have my underclothes on. I was actually on my way over my friend Terri Wayne's to go lay down.
So you told him what?
Huh? He said, raise your shirt up. Do I have a bra on? He said, I didn't have no bra on. Then he was like, I could take you to jail for this crack pipe. I said, people just crunched. I said, most police just crunched that up and let us go. He said, I could. He said, but this is a charge or something, he said.
So this is before you lift your shirt.
No, that was afterwards.
All right. How far did you lift your shirt?
I just raised it up and let it back down.
So he could tell you didn't have a bra on. Did he ask you to raise it all the way up?
Mm-hmm. He just said raise your shirt up.
Okay. And then the next thing after that is what?
And then he was telling me that he could take me to jail for my crack pipe. And I was telling him, man, please just let me go lay down. Because Terry, he's my friend, but I call him Uncle Terri Wayne. Everybody calls him Uncle Terri Wayne. And he was like, he said, I want to say he said, you give me some head for 2 minutes. I want to say that's the way he said it. I don't know. And I was like, huh? I'm not going to put my mouth on him. And he was like, oh, just 2 minutes. And I was like, wow.
So then,
Because he had already kind of threatened me about the crack pipe, so I put my mouth on him.
did he unzip his pants or did he take it up over the top?
I don't know, because when I looked, it was already out. I don't know. When I looked up and he asked me that, he already had his thing out.
Okay, everything that you described of this person, of the officer, was that true?
Yeah,
Okay, so we've already covered that.
yeah. Just the location was not right.
And tell me again why you gave a different location.
Because I don't want my boyfriend to know I had relapse.
Okay. Now, going back to this, after the zip up, or after the blowjob, what happens?
Then he lets me out the car. Then he said, well, you know, I can't give this back to you, my pipe. He gives my purse back. Then I said, well, shoot, you might as well let me have that back. You know, because I'm thinking to myself, you done violated me. And so he hands it back to me. And then he says, but first he said, well, you really don't need it. He said, you might go to jail for it. And then he says, well, where are you walking to? I said, I'm just going straight up the street. I was going to the townhouses behind the welfare office. The townhouses right there on Kelly.
Okay, yes.
I was going over Uncle Terri Wayne's house, and that was just right up the street. And he says, nah, I think I should take you. I said, no, I can walk. He said, I wouldn't want nothing bad to happen to you out here. Then I said, no, I can walk. Please let me walk. And I wanted to tell him I wasn't going to say nothing. Just please let me go. But I didn't get to say all that. I asked him to let me go, and he said, no, I think I better take you. And I'll tell you where he took me. He put me in the car. He said, I better take you. He put me in the car. But he drove past the street. He turned, and I said, where are you going? He said, I'm just taking a different route. He passed the whole street. My grandmother lives on Hill Street. That's why I grew up on East Hill, right off of 32nd and Kelly. Well, it's a field right there. It looked like he was getting ready to turn the car into the field, and I started screaming. And he said, he said, oh, relax, just calm down. I'm going to take you where you're supposed to go. So I'm thinking, well, what are you doing? Why are you taking all these detours? I think he was going to do something more to me. I don't know.
So where did he take you to?
Finally, he took me back.
To where?
He finally took me to my uncle's apartment.
Off of that Urban Street?
Off of Kelly.
Urban League? That's Urban League.
Oh, yeah.
Where I saw you that one time? Very first?
No, he was taking me to 26th and Kelly, behind the welfare office.
So he takes you off of Kelly, behind the welfare office.
It's the townhouses, and I walk on to Terri Wayne's house, and I tell Terry that's what happened. I didn't even tell my Uncle Terri Wayne. I just wanted to go and lay down.
Where's this field at that he drove?
On Hill, on East Hill. Right off of, it's right on, let me see.
Where your mom lives?
Where my grandma, yeah, it's a field down the street from her house.
He was going to take you home?
He was going to take me in that field. Her house is on this one end of the block, then there's a field that separates the blocks.
Why would he take you there?
In the field?
No. Why would he take you over by your grandma's house?
Probably because he seen that field. I don't think he knew that's where I grew up. I don't think he knew I grew up right there.
Do you remember him running you on the radio?
He said he did. I don't know. He said he did. All I heard him saying something, but I don't know if he was doing it for real or just. But I think he was doing it for real because he would have known that, because he seen I didn't have no warrants.
Let's take a break.
Terri, where you said he took you after he
So
first?
I don't think he knew I grew up down the street from that field.
Okay, was there any kind, did he pull in any kind of a driveway or anything like that?
No. I know he was going to pull in that field because I could tell by the way he was going to turn.
Not the field. Where you first?
No, it was on the street.
On the
outside that gate of the apartments.
So
right across from that museum.
Could you take us to the area?
Yeah, I could take you and show you directly. I could show you the field. I could show you where he did what he did to me. I could show you exactly where he picked me up.
All right. You got good authorization to take her?
Is this man gonna get to me in jail?
No. Hey. Hey, have your Coke. Just relax. Hey,
Terry, you're doing fantastic.
look, I want to talk a little bit more about this rehab. Okay? Okay. You serious about this?
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah.
We'll bring it back in.
Okay.
I like it out.
You think Detective Williams, after I show y'all everything?
Yeah, just push it. Just hit the big red button and you're out.
I thought your name was Detective Greg Williams.
No, it's Gregory.
Why I get Williams?
My first name is Rocky.
Oh,
Remember like the boxer?
yeah, Rocky.
There you go. Maybe that might be easy. Okay.
And then there wasn't no other police with him either.
Hey, one more question. Was that, and now you said before, it was the older style car? Not the-
Yeah, it was the black and white one. The old square ones.
Okay, and it wasn't the new black straight?
No.
Okay.
You think after I show you everything that I might can make one call to my boyfriend and let him know what's going on, my ex? Because he called me and said he seen something about it on the news. Was it on the news?
Yours is not on the news.
Yeah, he said the girl. And he said he thought about me and he said, I am so sorry for thinking you were lying.
Terry, this is permission for me to take remember the spit?
Yeah.
Okay. Just look at this. You can read, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now all you gotta do is right here.
I want to get out of here and get into a drug treatment. I know they're gonna let me out anyway.
As far as your charges, I can't do anything about your
I know,
charges.
but they said, I already know the people said that I was gonna go home. They just said they backed up.
Okay.
I ain't got no more trespassing.
Well, I just found out that you were over here, and then I knew you wanted to.
Who told you?
But we can pull it up.
Well, how did you know to pull this up?
Well, because it's
Did
on.
I put the date down?
Sure.
I don't know the date. 10.
7/10. It's 7/10.
Well, what kind of drug treatment can you get me? Oh yeah, 'cause my birthday next month.
Oh. Well, I don't know. I'll have to do some checking. Okay.
Like, I don't want to go to DRI. I'm scared of that. But I want to go to a drug treatment that works.
Well,
Well, maybe I shouldn't be scared of DRI. Maybe it's,
there you go.
maybe I let people scare me too much about it. But maybe y'all can get me in DRI.
I wish you would have told me before that was a different location.
I know, but I was scared after I told y'all that.
But then you told me again.
I know, I was still scared.
You scared of the officer?
Yeah.
Well, you've seen me enough during all this.
I was talking to my roommate about this last night, and I said, do you think he can find me in here? Is he free? I don't want him to come and get me and bother me.
He's not an officer right now. We've taken his gun.
So he can't just come in this place, huh?
Nope.
This is like the safest place I feel.
It's very safe.
But then I was thinking, what if, he got some friends in this place that'll come get me. I said, do you think that after I show you the locations that I might can make a call to my ex and tell him what's going on?
I don't see a problem about that. Let's see what we can do, okay?
Because I haven't been able to call her. But my ex did tell me that he said, I'm sorry that I didn't believe you.
You're sorry with what?
My ex told me he's sorry he didn't believe me when I was telling him about the rape.
Do you remember ever seeing him before?
That police?
Yeah.
No. Like if I seen him before, I wouldn't know because I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm so busy trying to get away from him now. Like if I seen him, I would remember because like when police is stop, you know, black folks doing wrong, we trying to move away, hurry up and get away. Well, I guess that's anybody doing wrong.
I don't think that's anybody doing wrong. Okay.
But I wasn't even doing nothing wrong that night. I didn't have a crack pipe and I was getting high like early up in the day. But shit, I didn't have no money in that and I was going to lay down.
Where did you go after that happened?
Where did he end up dropping me off?
Where did you go? Where did you go after he dropped you off?
I went over to Terri Wayne's where I was headed and went to sleep. I didn't tell, no matter of fact, I did, once he left. Yeah, did I? No, I didn't. I started getting. No, I did. Once he dropped me off, I was so in shock that I think I just started really getting high, trying to find me some drugs.
Did you talk to Terri Wayne?
I didn't tell him what happened. I didn't tell nobody what happened for like almost a week. I think it might have been a week or a day over. But I wasn't talking and telling nobody nothing. I was scared to tell somebody.
No, I understand that. Look, if you don't mind, I'd like to take you for a ride so you can show me all that.
All three of the places?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you can bring your pop there with you.
I drunk that. This is gone.
I brought one.
I love pop.
Terri with an I or a Y?
Do you got a candy bar?
I don't have nothing.
My daddy's name is spelled with a Y.
What's your date of birth?
1970. I want to go to drug treatment, Detective Greg. Please help me get in the treatment so I can get myself better.
Well,
I don't want to get on high no more. I don't want to stay on these streets.
see, and you had done rehab before.
Yeah, but the reason why, what made me relapse is, I don't know, I had relapse, but I was gonna go back like the next day.
And one more thing, did he ever do any of this? Did you have to put your hands on top of the car or anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay, before you told me you put your hands on top of the car.
No, I don't remember telling you. He might have put his hands on top of the car. He had me sitting in the car.
You're saying everything. You showing your breasts.
I was sitting down the whole
looking at your vagina, and the blow job was all in the back seat of the car.
Yeah, he was standing up like this. And I was sitting like this. He was standing up over me like this, right here.
When you gave him oral sex.
All I did was turn my head.
Did you touch him?
My mouth did, no. I didn't put my hands on my mouth.
So you didn't even put your feet on the ground outside, you just turned your body
just my head, yeah.
For oral sex. Okay. We ready? I'm gonna get this.
Oh boy. They're gonna think y'all take me out.
What you just heard is completely different than what Morris has been professing as the truth every time she's previously been asked about the sexual assault. And you may be compelled to believe this version because Morris appears much more clear-headed and sober. But, as with her previous story centered around downtown Oklahoma City, this version in northeast Oklahoma City has some major problems also. Problems that are apparent on this date back in 2014 and much later when she testifies under oath at trial. So we are clear. In this version of events, Morris now claims that the sexual assault occurred after she left Liberty Station Apartments in northeast Oklahoma City and now on May 8, 2014. A revelation that only happened after Detective Gregory suggested this location and date in Morris's second interview. Suggestions he admits he made but neglected to audio record. Additionally, Not only has this location been put in Morris's head by Gregory, but she only decides to change her story to this location after she is once again arrested, has sat in jail for almost a week, and wants Gregory's help getting into a better rehabilitation facility.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, there's a whole lot more to episode 6, and Bates, points out all the lies, all the inconsistencies, and it's really interesting. I strongly encourage, if you haven't listened to it yet, to go and listen to it, and if you have listened to it, go listen to it again, because every time I listen to these interviews, I pick up something that I've missed before. So yeah, that we're gonna next week we're gonna do the preliminary hearing transcript, and things are gonna sound different then than what you've just heard. And then, of course, when we get to the trial transcripts, it'll be something different again than what you've heard. So I just wanted you guys to get some of the more telling points, I guess, of these 3 interviews that were done. And if you've listened to all 3 of the interviews, the first, second, and third one, you can probably pick out on your own some inconsistencies and lies. What you can definitely pick out, though, is Rocky Gregory's impatience with her, or at least I did. His impatience with her during this 3rd interview. He has no interest in talking about anything else, because she trails off into different little topics that, don't, in his mind, have anything to do with what he's there to try to get from her. And it's disgusting. He doesn't show any compassion, any care, any, anything for her, that he should. And at one point, this is probably something silly, but it's something that really sticks out to me, is here he is talking to in this 3rd interview, talking to somebody who's allegedly been sexually assaulted. And I believe Terri Morris was sexually assaulted by somebody on May 20th or May 21st, exactly where she said she was. Of course, there's proof that it wasn't Daniel, but I believe she was. And I do believe
it must have happened on the 21st, because I don't know why I haven't caught this before, but we know she spent the night at the city rescue mission on the 20th.
Right.
And so she says she's walking back to the city rescue mission when this happens. But then did she go back there? No, she was traumatized, she said. So she went and got high. So if she was correct in the 20th or 21st, which she was adamant about several times, you'll even hear it in her deposition down the road when those get released, that was taken for the civil rights lawsuit. She sticks to that. It was just a few days before the 911 call. So that would have been what she said, the 20th or 21st.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I think she was assaulted over there.
Yeah, I do. I mean, she's the only one, and perhaps Sherry Ellis, they're the only ones who I think may have actually been sexually assaulted.
Here's the deal. Her story changes so many times when she
Right.
decides to become a part of the case.
Yep.
But her story never changed when she kept telling the story over and over again.
Yeah. No, it was very consistent. She was very, very consistent, even though she was high in that first and second interview. Her details, I guess you could, if you'd call it that, were very, in line with the time she told it before. So, it's until Rocky and Tim Muzny get a hold of her in that third interview that she gets all, jacked up and twisted. And, and Susan said it in the chat, that she started crying at one point, and I'm getting so confused. I can't remember all these things I'm supposed to say. And
well, they've given her a real place and a real stop to put her false allegations on. So, she can describe where Daniel was and, where she was in the initial part of the interaction. And Daniel calls her in. But then she has to incorporate all of these things that they need her to say, and she has to remember those things, and she gets really confused about it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and it gets her all stressed out, and her anxiety, and she gets all twisted about it and starts to cry. And he's like, "Here, have another pop. Drink your pop."
Yeah.
And just like, "You pig."
Yeah, you don't hear her being confused on May 24th when she tells it to 3 different officers. You don't hear her being confused about it, about the sequence of events. She doesn't want to talk about it, but when Rocky makes her talk about it on June 3rd, she repeats the same things that she said on the 24th. And then again in the back of the car.
Yes. Yep. Excuse me. Yeah. So, it's and also go read the police report. It's in her room in Discord. Go read the police report. There's transcripts in there, but the things that Brian Bates was saying about how Rocky Gregory just writes whatever the fuck he wants to in his police reports. And he lies. If he's not using horrible grammar and, horrible sentence structuring, he's lying. And I would just throw it out there that he's doing all of that all at the same time. That's got to be rough on the brain because, it's, anyway, read that police report because it is outrageous. And remember, this is only the second, even though it occurred initially before Jamie Ligon's traffic stop, this is only the second accusation, I guess. And you can actually hear how hard Rocky Gregory is trying to make her story fit to match Jamie Ligon's. And when he says, now, did he have you put your hands on top of the car or anything like that? That was a claim that Jamie Ligon's made. It turned out to be false. There was no handprints or fingerprints or disturbing of the dust on the vehicle.
They did DNA test that. There was
DNA.
no DNA either. No print. They did prints and DNA, which Kim says they didn't, but I just saw a report that said they did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, well, Kim lies too.
Yeah.
She's disgusting in her own way. So, yeah, so that's kind of where I just gave you the high points of those 3 interviews and those 3 episodes. Read the police report in Discord. And just, you'll get, if you're like really trying to read that police report, any of the police reports actually, you'll get really frustrated trying to follow Rocky Gregory's way of speaking or whatever it is, because he's just horrible at writing reports. And he just doesn't make sense. And just so you know, he doesn't testify verbally under oath any better. So he's just as bad testifying. So, excuse me. Okay, so, well, hopefully these last couple of episodes have got you ready for transcripts that are coming this next week. We'll be doing the preliminary transcript. I haven't looked at it yet to see how many pages it is. But definitely you don't want to miss it because it's definitely going to be interesting for sure. I don't have any, there's no transcripts yet, no trial transcripts or anything in Discord for Terri yet, because we don't have one yet.
My comment was about the transcript was going to be the transcript to Bill City's podcast that I was going to put in there. So I don't know.
Okay. There, you know what? I was just looking, and I used to have a room for. I don't know what happened to it, but anyway, we can make another one. It's easy enough because I used to have that. I used to have that podcast in his room, and so I probably deleted it somehow. I've been good at that kind of stuff. So, okay. So hopefully everybody's excited for next week to hear these preliminary transcript, and you know, get a whole different version, a whole new version of Terri Morris's accusations. And then also we have to factor in with the transcripts, Galen Gigger's horrible way of doing direct examination on these ladies, on these witnesses, because he's just as bad verbally giving oral argument as Rocky is at writing, I think. So, but we will be here next week to read that all for you and memorialize. As soon as we get it read, then I will put the transcript in Terri Morris's room in Discord. Yes, Susan.
I was just going to say, I have to agree. They both sound very uneducated. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I gotta agree with that.
I forgot to put those podcasts in there a couple days ago. I'm such a dingbat. I've had too many things going on, but I also added, who is that? It was the former chief, Mt. Berry, who at the time of Daniel's arrest, he was the assistant city manager. So there you go. There's the connection for what's going on with the money at the city and everything. There's the connection straight back to Bill City.
Right. Yeah, always. You know, there are so many connections, so many dots. You know what I mean? So, and the more we, you know, go through each of these cases, you know, case by case, accuser by accuser, the more connections you're going to start seeing, and the more it's going to start making, well, not that the lies make sense, but start making sense as to how it is that Daniel was framed the way he was, I think, or at least how the accusers were all, you know, gathered and crafted their stories. They didn't do it on their own. They didn't come up with their own story. They were helped along with Davis and Gregory. So you'll be able to see all that. Okay, so we're going to end this for tonight, and we will be back Thursday to read the preliminary transcript. It will be Thursday. Yes, today, moving to today was a temporary thing. So just go around the panel and ask everybody if they have any final comments. And we'll start with Jack.
No, nothing really in this. Bates does such a great job in his coverage, so it's good that you're presenting it and just letting it go because yeah, like I've said before, he did such a fantastic job in my opinion. Just a little plug for the weekend for Pow Play. That's okay.
Oh, absolutely, please.
So doing part 2 of reading with the crew, the new material from Shrek's book, 5 p.m. tomorrow. And then for Sunday open mic, probably going to continue on with depositions, or I don't know. I'm toying around with the idea of starting with the case of dispatch calls, but that's going to be a pretty extensive and detailed project. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Anyway, that's it. 5 p.m. tomorrow, 5 p.m. Sunday. Thanks, everyone.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jack. We'll see you this weekend. Susan?
Yes. I just want to say I highly recommend that Bill City podcast. It will explain so much about why this happened to Daniel. It's very, very interesting. That's about all I got. It was good job tonight, Rhonda.
Oh, thanks, Susan. I appreciate that. I left most of the work up to Brian Bates, but thank you. Cherie.
Well, thank you for doing this. It's interesting to hear it again, hear the interviews. I hadn't heard them in a while, so you catch things each time you hear it.
Right. Well, and the more you learn about the case overall, the more you catch little things here and there, little nuances that, wow, I didn't understand that. I didn't catch that before. Now this makes sense. So, yeah, I agree. Thank you, Cherie. And Kay, how about you? Any final comments?
Yeah, I agree with Susan. The Bill City episode is really enlightening, and there are only a few parts on MT Barry's podcast of that same series that where he talks about what you need to do when something like that happens is you need to be well connected to the community. And that's exactly right, because that's what you saw happen. You saw the district attorney, Bill City, speaking out and asking for patience from the community and, trust that they would investigate this and hold him accountable. And if they didn't have those connections to try to calm people down while they work their magic, I think it would have ended differently.
Right. I agree. Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
Excuse me, my goodness. All right, well, thank you everybody on the panel for all of your help, and to everybody in chat, thank you guys tonight. You were a great chat as always, and some pretty great comments, and we always appreciate that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we're really kicking butt on comments the last few videos that we've done, so don't be afraid to check back in the comments section every now and then and see what you feel like you want to jump in on with comments that are being made on the different videos, because they're doing really good. So I think that we will I think we're going to leave it at that, and next week preliminary transcript, and until next Thursday 5 o'clock Central, peace out.